All right, we are good to go. It turns out it was just the airline that supplies the brake chamber. He came out and spotted it within 30 seconds. Was good. Johnny be good, not good. But you know what? We're rolling. We're good to go. So can't complain. He had that thing fixed within, I don't know, less than a minute. He got himself a crescent wrench or an adjustable. I feel embarrassed. I should have been able to fix that. But you know, I got, you know, when that thing happened, it was full of smoke. I was full of discouragement. I was paralyzed in uselessness. Well, that's why there's mechanic, right? Hey everybody, Johnny B. Good here. Hello and good afternoon greetings from Chicago, Illinois. Local time here is 12:34. Temperature is 70 degrees. Alright, Grace and I are continuing our journey to Reinhardt-Shawano, Wisconsin, which is 251 miles, roughly 4 hours and 20 minutes. Grace and I are, we decided to go through this way, give you guys a little bit of a different treat than taking 294 all the time. Hello, Grace. Good morning, Your Grace. Delivery appointment was at noon. Our ETA is about 5, maybe 5:30. Boss is quite confident that they would wait for us when we get there. Also, scheduled to pick up a load tomorrow in De Pere, delivering to Manassas, Virginia. But I think the boss is going to have me drop and hook it to the yard, and then deadhead to Timberville, loading Wednesday maybe, and then delivering to Reinhardt in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So far so good. Whatever that mechanic did, it seems to be holding up. I don't have any more issues. Get this, Grace says 70 degrees. Weather app says 64 degrees in Chicago. I mean, you know, Chicago's pretty big and it's close to the lake, Michigan, so Grace could be right. I mean, as far as we probably know, it could be 70 degrees right here. Again, that weather app is probably near the lake, so it's got that, you know, Lake Michigan will always be cooler. By the way, advance happy birthday to James Ewing, I believe. Happy birthday, James. Let's play a little game called Do You Agree? Let's make it interesting. Do you agree that every politician's out there, no matter which side of the aisle, they are wicked, they are evil, they are a liar, they're big sinners, they're hypocrites, they are thieves, they are selfish, their righteousness is as filthy as rags, and they are as big of a sinners as we are? Do you guys agree with that statement? I'll give you a couple moments to answer that. A couple moments to let you sink that in and think about it. Every politician's out there, whether Democrats, Libertarians, Republicans, Tea Parties, whatever you could think of, they are as big and wicked as sinners as we are. Ah, so you agree, right? Yes. Interesting, isn't it? Does that change your perspective at all? See, it doesn't matter what political view you have. The color of every man, every young woman and child is the color of heart. And according to the Bible, the color of the heart is darkness. Now you don't have to be a Christian to believe that every man that lives on this earth in some ways are wicked. We are all liars. We are all backstabbers and selfish people. Some are, they show it better, and some are better. Let me rephrase that. Some are better hiding it from others. But deep inside, I think we're all equally capable of doing evil things. Now, I'm going to say a little bit of a statement that's going to... I'm not looking for a debate. I'm not looking to change your mind. I'm not trying to advocate for you who to vote or what to believe. I'm just sharing ideas. After all, we are a free country. We are a free people, right? We are protected under the freedom of speech. I mean, what would this country be? What would any country be if there's only one political view? It would be a very sick society. Wow, look at all those tents over there. The homeless people, really? They have tents out here now? Wow, isn't that amazing? We have landed in the moon, sent rovers to Mars, sent rockets to the outer space of most outer space, landed a robot on an asteroid. we can't fix homelessness? To me, that's very astonishing. That right there, that's just a prime example. It's not that we can't. It's not that we don't have the means to fix all these problems. But because of our fallenness, our selfishness, bickering to each other about the little things when there are big things involved, yeah, our priorities are not straight. Alright, back to the point where I was trying to say. Would you agree that every Christians out there, our most fundamental belief, the most what we hold sacred of is the sanctity of life, right? I mean, as Christians, there's nothing more important than to protect life at any stage, right? If we were on a cruise ship and then a pirate boards the ship and demands 100 kids or 100 child and say, hey, give us one of your kids and you can go. If you're a true Christian, you would say, that's not for us to decide. One child or 100 children, that's not a choice, right? You can't sacrifice one child for the whole ship. I know some of you will disagree. But if you truly are a Christian, there is no choice. Some of you don't believe that. That's okay too. Now, in every aspect and every issues in life, there's nothing more important for a Christian than life. Whether it be racism, whether it be poverty, whether it be social justice, nothing trumps, nothing is more important than life. Surely somebody will say, give us one of your child and we'll give you $1 million. You'll downright deny it, right? I mean, come on. That's not a choice. So you will take life over economic, right? You get that, right? There's no amount of money, if you're a Christian, there's not an amount of money in the world that you would sell your kids for or sacrifice your kids for the betterment of, for money. So surely, in short, life supersedes economic prosperity, right? Right. Now, what if somebody says, I will let you out of prison if you kill your children? again, you can't sacrifice the life of your children for freedom. Right. See, you're getting good at this. You're agreeing with me 100% already. What if somebody says, we will make your country the best country in the world, and we will fix your homelessness if you just sacrifice your children? No way. There's just no way. I mean, I will leave you the rest of all the scenarios that you could think of. I don't have enough imagination to come up with all the scenarios out there. I'm sure your imagination is a little bit more broader than I have. Now, let's get back to the politics part. When a politician says, you know what? I promise that I can fix all these problems, especially medical problems. Free health care for everyone. You just have to sacrifice your children. Surely you are not going to vote for that, the politician, right? And then on the other side of the aisle, there's a politician that says, I got it. I got the secret to the economy. I can provide jobs for each single citizen in this country. But I'm pro-choice. Surely, as Christians, there's no way you're going to vote for that politician, right? Oh, I guess you guys are already ahead of me. You already caught on, right? Let me emphasize a little bit more, just so we are clear. Here's the politician that promises the world, the betterment of the world, free health care, jobs, economic boom. But that person advocates for abortion. Here's a politician that doesn't necessarily promise everything. But he's pro-life. Now, I asked you, as a Christian, who would you vote for? Again, this is not about who, I'm not advocating to change your mind for those who are pro-life or pro-choice. I mean, if you're if you're non-believers, if you're not a Christian, that's your business. That's between you and God. As I've always said many times, according to God, I am not qualified to judge myself, lest I am qualified to judge you. Judgment is reserved for the Lord, right? For those of you who are advocating for pro-choice because you don't believe in God, that's your right. That's your opinion. That's the way you should vote, according to your conscience. I am just kind of sharing this so for those of you who are non-Christians can understand where we're coming from. I'm sharing this for those of you who are Christians to remind you that there's nothing more sacred to us than life. Boy, I'm getting politics and religion on YouTube. Woo-wee. I feel the hate already. I don't know, I wish we still live in times where we can still share ideas, religious, political views, and not be prosecuted for it. Live and let live. I'll let you live your life. Give me the courtesy to live my life as well. Understand, if you don't know, the Bible teaches that life begins at conception. For those of you who are non-Christians and non-religious people that don't believe that, it's okay. I am not gonna judge you or condemn you. That's not my job. Again, vote for whatever your conscience is. Vote whatever your heart is. The way I look at it is, you know what? I will vote according to my conviction. Whatever happens after that, that's God's job, not mine. But it just seems to me that there's only one issue of a Christian as far as voting goes. You know what? When it comes to economic, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a economic major that I can understand how economy works. There's a lot of good points on each side of the aisle, and they sound good, but whether I'm not smart enough to understand whether they're true or not. So I make my life simple. I make my life choices simple. by just voting on one thing. Again, every politicians out there are just as wicked and sinners and evil as we are. They are no better than us, and we are no better than them, right? If you are a truly born-again Christian, you would believe that. And you know what? Politics has never been about morality anyway. For those of you who are non-Christians, I can see how you would vote differently, and that's okay with me. Really okay with me. I'm not the boss of you. I'm not your God. I'm not your judge. Whatever happens after the election, that's God's job, man. Go ahead and vote according to your conviction and smile and say to God, well, God, I voted according to your will. Whatever you allow happen after that, He is, after all, a sovereign God, right? Again, now I'm talking to my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. How can you vote for a politician that advocates for abortion? If you say you're a Christian and votes for a politician that advocates the pro-choice, doesn't that make you a hypocrite? Or at the very least conflicted, or a fake Christian, right? Do you agree with that statement? Look, man, you can vote any way you want, but if you call yourself a Christian and votes against pro-life, what does that make you? I'm asking you a question. Think about it. This is not the issue about women have the right to their own bodies. There's a lot of argument about that. That this is not that topic. That's a totally different discussion. Again, I am just trying to explain or share an idea of why Christians vote the way we do, And for those of you who are proclaiming to be Christians, why you should vote the way the Bible teaches. Either you are a Christian or you're not a Christian. I don't think you can call yourself a Christian and not hold on the belief that life begins at conception. I don't think you can be a Christian and if you do not follow what the Bible teaches. Do you agree? Again, you can vote to whoever you want. That's none of my business. Just a friendly reminder, I suppose. Sharing ideas. We all need reminders time to time. How does that go? Before you were born, I knew you. God said. When you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. I was listening to John MacArthur's message yesterday, and it kind of just refreshed my memory that, you know, when we were born on this earth, we absolutely had nothing to contribute to our birth. Absolutely nothing. We were just here by somebody else's power. And being born again and being a Christian is the same thing. We contribute to nothing being reborn. The way that works is God chooses to whoever He chooses. We simply accepted the gift. We respond to the gift. And the only reason we responded to the gift is because He gave us the Spirit to respond to the gift. You know, one thing that's really reassuring, I love the fact that my salvation does not depend on what I do or I do not do. It does, however, I mean, the salvation depends on God's grace. I'm a firm believer that once you're saved, you're always saved. Your sin has been paid in full, one-time fee. You don't lose your salvation from one moment to the other. I mean, come on. I'm saved today because I did good. I lost my salvation later because I did something bad. I mean, that makes us like yo-yos. However we live our lives will reflect whether we are saved or not. It's not what you do that saves you. It's what you do that confirms that you are saved. You see the difference? It's not what we do that saves us, but it's the life that we live that shows and confirms that we are either or we are not. Again, it all comes down to, are you a hearer of the Bible or a doer of the Bible? People in this world that believes in God, but they're not saved. They just believe that God exists, but they don't follow God. They don't obey God. So it's not the believing that saves us. It's the obeying that confirms that we are believers and followers of His teachings. Wow, some really deep thoughts there, John. That'd be good. Happy Sunday, everybody. How does that go? By hearing of the word and believing of the word, and by confession of mouth is the salvation. That's when salvation begins. How can we believe if we do not hear the gospel? Therefore, we believe because we heard the gospel. We are saved by confession, by faith, by grace. Local time is 1:17. Temperature here is 64 degrees, Northfield, Illinois. again, you know, whatever you believe in political view, I don't care what you believe. I don't care who you vote for. Just go vote. At least do that. Whether you vote for one side of the aisle or not. You know, I think one of our biggest problem is in voting, we now look at it as, oh, we won, or, you know, we got to do everything to win. It's now personal. I think that ruins the whole voting process, because by voting voting, when we start voting as in, oh, we lost, or they won, or oh, it hurts because we lost. When we start voting according, you know, we personalize it, then that's where all the corruption starts, right? That's where all the corruption starts, as in, we're going to suppress the political views of the other party. We're going to do every trick in the book so that we win or they lose. I think we should vote as in, hey, you know what? I voted. Whatever happens after that, happens after that. You know, that really makes sense, doesn't it? That the politics now is so dirty because we are no longer objective to it. And I think because of that, we start hurting each other. We start hating each other. We start bashing each other's political views. And you know, here again, I vote pro-life, of course, right? And I'm going, but if God chooses that, I really believe that God controls history. Sometimes He lets the other side win. As sorry as I am that there are millions of unborn children out there that will be put out, but in His sovereign way, in His sovereign will, He allows it to happen, and that's His business. I don't like it, but I'm willing to accept it. I'll tell you a little bit of a confession. This is kind of an ignorant. Where's the toll road? Oh, I thought they Okay, we're not there yet. Here's my ignorant curiosity or thinking sometimes, and I know it's wrong. I know it is. But when it comes to abortion, I don't know. I mean, I do believe that every child that's ever been aborted is in heaven. What's so bad about that? Right? I don't know. Again, that's just I don't know. Again, as I say, it's my ignorant views of life, and it's probably wrong, and I know it's wrong. But I don't really. Sometimes I look at the way I look at life is, again, I do believe with all my heart that all children goes to heaven. I truly believe that. You ever wonder who are the majority of people are, in heaven? Is it the people that live for 20 years, 50 years, 100 years? Or the children that was never been born? You ever wonder about that? I think sometimes that the majority of the souls that are in heaven are children that were never born, or children that died early. I think there are more souls in heaven because they were children, not adults. And I also sometimes wonder, and I do ask myself, what is the difference between, let's just say, take the best of, alright, let's use the apostles as an example. Let's take Apostle Paul. He's one of the mightiest apostles in the Bible, right? In the Bible, no one is probably more greater than the Apostle Paul. He was brave. He won a lot of souls for Christ. He did mighty works in the name of the Lord. And in contrast, let's take an aborted fetus. What is the difference between the two of them in heaven? Is one greater than the other? Although the Bible does say there are greater rewards in heaven, there are different rewards in heaven. Greater rewards for those who died in the name of the Lord. Maybe that's the difference, right? Holy smokies. But you know, I think one of the traits in heaven is that we will be absolutely, whatever stages you are in heaven, as far as your reward, whether you're rewarded with one city or 10 cities or a kingdom or a city, a nation or whatever authority or rank you have in heaven, as far as, you know, the Bible does talk about the ranks in heaven. I mean, surely the apostles are greater. That just answers my question right there. Surely the apostles are greater authority than most people that are in heaven. Remember the parable of the king gave the person 1 cent. What did he do? He went to the backyard and buried it. And then the other one the king gave him 5 cents or 5 talents. And he invested it, and he had 5 more talents. So he was given 10 cities. And then the other one, the king gave him 10 talents, and greater is the reward, right? But the point is, whatever our reward will be in heaven, it's perfectly understood that we will be absolutely satisfied, perfectly satisfied to who we are. There are no more envies of, oh, he's got more crowns than I do, or he's got more cities than I do. We will be absolutely perfectly satisfied to what we have or what we are. So it doesn't really matter if we are a servant of an apostle. Right? Right. So what do you think? Share your ideas of what is the difference between a soul that went to heaven as a fetus? By the way, there are no children in heaven. You die as a child or whatever age, you are given a heavenly body. And in that matter also, if you die, wherever you're going to spend eternity with, you are going to be given a body for that purpose, whether a body that's fit for heaven and a body fit for hell. And whatever body that is, it's going to be an adult body. It's going to be a perfect body. Yeah, I used to cringe the idea of people when they die, they have all these tattoos. But that's not true. Right? You don't go to heaven with your tattoos on. You're given a perfect body or suitable for the eternity you're going to be spending it with. So all the body piercings and tattoos and alterations and whatever you did to it in this lifetime, I think, you ever think about this? I think the Lord Jesus Christ is the only one in heaven that has a scar. You ever thought about that? Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, he's got to be the only one that is allowed to have a scar. I don't think we're going to be in heaven limping or missing a limb or missing an arm or missing a foot or missing an ear, missing a nose. I don't think we're going to be in heaven with a scar. Now, how many of you have ever thought about that? That the Lord Jesus Christ is the only one that's allowed to have a scar? I've never thought of it until now. And I suspect that revelation does not come from me. And Jesus asked, to who the people think that I am? And they answered, some say you're Elijah, some say you're the prophet, but Peter said, you are the Son of the living God. And Jesus replied, that answer did not come from you, it was revealed to you by heaven. Here's a conundrum question for you. Who wrote the book of Romans? Did the apostle wrote the book of Romans, or did God did? Both of them did. God did. The apostle Paul did. It's one of those questions that I don't know, never be answered in this lifetime. Like, I can't fully fathom of how God has always existed. See, in my mind, there's a beginning and there's an end. I can't think outside of time. My mind will not allow me to think outside of time. How can someone or something always existed and never been made? Can you? I can probably conceive the idea of we're going to live forever. Forever and ever and ever. I mean, I can conceive that idea, but I can't conceive how did something start? without a beginning. How about that? Can you conceive the idea how something started without a beginning? I can't. Earlier I said that the voting is we kind of screwed that up by making it personal. We get hurt and we hurt others because we take it in as personal. And isn't that the same thing as, when you spread the word of the Lord? When you try to win someone for Christ and they reject you and you're heartbroken because they reject the message. But what if you were to just objectively say, hey, I'm spreading the word. It's not my job to save that person. It's not my job to make that person understand. Not my job to make that person accept the message. And I think, in my experience, I think that the reason we don't spread the gospel enough is because we're afraid, we're scared of the rejection, the disappointment that the message was rejected. But what if God says, okay, your job is 100% is to spread the word only. And if you do that, you have my blessing. Whether they accept it or not, as long as you spread my word, you will be blessed. What if God told you that? Let me put that on an earthly situation. What if there was a company out there that hired you, let's just say $30 an hour, to pass out the pamphlets? $30 an hour to pass out the pamphlets. It doesn't matter how many people accept the pamphlet. It doesn't matter how many people accept it and throw it away, just drop it on the street. The company will still pay you. Would you do it? Well, isn't that the same thing as spreading the gospel, right? It doesn't matter how many people we lead to Christ. Although it is a blessing, that knowing that you've led someone to Christ. But then again, I'd rather not know. Because in by nature, I am a corrupt person. The more I know, the number of people that I led to Christ, I'm going to start corrupting that idea and say, oh, how great I am. I must be really good because, look, I've led thousands and thousands for Christ. As a Christian, you can see where that's going, right? So I'd rather not know. I'd rather not know. I would rather know that I did everything I could. I would rather know and rest in the fact that I shared the gospel as often as everywhere as I could possibly do. Rest in the idea that I did everything in my power to spread the word. I'd rather rest on that because I can't corrupt that. You can't corrupt the idea that you did everything you could to spread the word, but you don't know what the effect was. Welcome to the last toll booth of Illinois. We are approaching the Wisconsin state line here in a minute. Yeah, I make it too. Did you know that there are 77 miles of Illinois from Indiana through Chicago all the way up here? Anyway, I hope we all can live in harmony, whether we are in opposing political or religious views. I hope you will not condemn me for my political and religious views, as I do not condemn you. But I'm sure there's somebody out there that will do differently. Let me ask you this question. If you're condemning me for my political and religious views, what does that make you? Now I can understand, I'm willing to accept that you disagree with me. That's okay. I expect that. But you are right now writing and condemning me for my statements. What does that make you? Does that make you a good person? A high moral person? Or does that make you intolerant, narcissist? And do you feel good about condemning me for my political and religious belief? That question right there is not a rhetorical question. That's something that I really want to know. Let me know. If you're condemning me, explain to me why I'm not allowed to voice out my opinion and my views. Why is your views the only one that counts and not mine? Oftentimes, I've noticed on the internet world that people will condemn other people, but they don't offer an explanation to why. They will just condemn you but not explain to you why their views is the only one that's right. Got a phone call. Gotta go. Long Haul Larry is calling. Later. Welcome to Wisconsin. Hey everybody, Johnny B. Good here. Hello and good afternoon. Greetings from Shawano, Wisconsin. Alright, local time is 4:38. We have 1.6 miles to go. And I talked to the lumpers and I told them my ETA was at 5 o'clock, so they're waiting. Thank God they're waiting. So I think by the grace of God they are waiting for us, and they're gonna take us today, and there might be hope for us to go home, stay home for the night. I don't know about the going home part. I don't know if the boss will let me go home and spend the night at the house. Remember, I do have to pick up a load at Well Companies in De Pere, Wisconsin tomorrow. Actually, I don't know if it's Well. I know it's De Pere. It picks up at noon, delivering to Manassas, Virginia. Alright, local time is 4:41. Temperature is 69 degrees. Let's get this load of chicken off of us, and God willing, we can go home, right? You know, when I broke down over there in Indianapolis, I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, what purpose do you have for me to break down here? Is there someone you want me to meet? Is there a message you want me to deliver? Do things just randomly break down? Or do they break down according to your sovereign will? You ever thought about that, man? I know. Things break down, things wear out. But why do they break down, wear out at the moment that they did? Is God in charge of all that situation? Or do they just randomly do it by themselves? Or does it's all part of his plan? Are we there at that moment to teach us a valuable lesson? Or is there was there a horrific accident that we could have been involved in if we were not broke down or delayed or taking a different route? Just curious. If God is a sovereign God, which I believe that He is, and to answer with you why He allowed me to break down at that moment in time, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Hey, it looks like there ain't nobody around here except for the yard jockey, so I better not open the door before I can find out if the lumpers are even here. Right? Let's make sure they're here, so I'll catch you guys later. Peace.